Hello, friends! Welcome back. Look at the weather. I don't know if you can really tell in this video, but we got hit with a really bad storm last night, and it's supposed to come back this evening, which is great because our daughter has baseball. So, if you don't know, at least where we live in Southern Ontario, you still play ball, you still play baseball if it rains. You just don't play if there's lightning. So, it's fun. It's great. Anyway, since it's a little cool out right now and we've had really gross weather, I'm getting my wheelbarrow and I'm going into our shop and I have to change the meaties bedding because they're starting to stink in there. So I thought I would show you the setup that we have for our meat birds right now. It's not like our full-time solution. Hang on, it's gonna get loud. It's not like what we want to do permanently, but you know what they say with homesteaders. You make do with what you have, and that's kind of the situation that we did. Is we're making do with what we have. So until we can get our new meat tractor built, this is what we're doing. So let me flip this around, show you what I got going on in our shop. Yes, I know there's a little dirt left in the wheelbarrow, but that's fine because this is just gonna get dumped into the compost. So, if you follow us on social media, then you probably already know. So when we bought this property a year and a half ago, it had this double garage building shop thing, and it was perfect because I was self-employed. We had to close our business down 6 months ago due to numerous reasons, but so this shop is no longer being used for business purposes. So what we decided to do was, it's 30 feet long, and we decided to take the back 10 feet, and as you can see, we started, but we just haven't had time to finish. So our plan was to build stalls. I put chicken wire because there's baby chicks, but anyway. We built this giant stall. So this is actually where Clover gave birth a few months ago, and it was really convenient. This is really nice to separate her. But what the overall plan is we're going to, we insulated behind there, put that, insulated back there, did that. We have new windows to replace. We obviously have to board that up. Anyway, the plan is that this part we didn't do yet because we are going to cut it out and make like an entrance for the animals, and we're going to fence in a trail. So if you've seen our goat shelter, it's not the greatest. It's really small. I mean, it works well currently. But we knew that this year we were going to have to build a bigger one for the goats. So the goats and the chickens kind of share a shelter outside right now, and it's not ideal, but it works. So our plan is to get this all done, put a fencing in, and then that way the goats can come in here at nighttime. This will be their section, and then we are going to take the shelter we currently have out there and change up a few things to make that dedicated for the chickens. That is the plan. So yeah, open that. And then we want to build another wall. Where are we? Right here. Stall wall, so that we can have a separate area. So if we have to separate babies from moms, we have that area. We'll put a little gate there. That's the plan. So, but for now, what it's being used for is I totally made a makeshift brooder. So we did have a pop-up brooder that we were using, and we had it in the house, and with our dogs it just doesn't make sense. Our one dog does not like feathered friends. So I put this together. It works really well. It's getting dirty right there, so I gotta clean it out. But anyway, this works pretty well. What we found with our last batch of meat birds, though, was that, as you can see, they bent the fence. Because as they got bigger, this wasn't big enough, so they hopped out. We actually ended up putting the meat birds in here when they got bigger, which was actually perfect since it's not being used for goats right now. And that's our plan again. So we have 15 little meaties in here, and once they get too big for this area for them, we will migrate them over to here and finish them up over here. Like I said, this is not like our ideal situation. We did not bring our meat tractor, like our chicken tractor, with us from the old farm for numerous reasons, and we just haven't had the time, energy, or funds, to be honest, to build a new meat tractor for them. Hoping by our next batch, we have another batch of meat birds coming the end of August. I'm hoping by then we should be able to have a chicken tractor built, because these are rustic rangers, and rustic ranger birds actually do really, really well foraging. That's kind of like why we like this breed of meat chickens. They're dual purpose, which is fantastic, but they're very good foragers. So that's something that like we really like. We can put them outside. They're fantastic. So in the meantime, this is working, but we got to clean this out because they're starting to stink, and I don't want it to get too bad where it's gross. First, let's take the water out. It's getting a little gross. We're gonna take it. We will, if I can put the cap on. They sell some water in here, but I'm gonna freshen it up. So I like to clean it, especially on these hot days. So I will dump it outside. Give it a good little wash down before I bring it back in. Just make it a little better, but we just use basic wood shavings in here. It's really easy to take care of when they're small like this. Realistically, straw would be cheaper. I don't know. I feel like straw would be the better option financially, but I'm not a fan of straw for little babies. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Is that something you use? Do you use straw? Do you use wood shavings? I know people that use shredded cardboard, actually, which I kind of find interesting, but the chick bedding actually works really well for our compost. Oh, shoot. I broke the... Ugh. This thing is so frustrating. There we go. It, like, locks in. Or is it, like, right there? You have to get these little pieces to lock in properly. And if you don't, then it's a real nightmare. As you can tell, the meat birds do not like it when we clean them out, but obviously it's a necessity. So they can go ahead and not like me for like 10 minutes while I make their bedding nice and clean for them. You guys are fine. Oh, we're almost done. Okay, so I have about 3/4 cleaned, but I'm going to stop for one quick second because now that I have to clean under where the chickies are going to actually be, they're going to migrate to the other side. So I don't want to have just bare ground. Well, not bare ground. I have plastic on. Anyway, so we're going to lay down some bedding, some clean bedding on the half that I just cleaned, so that when they migrate over here, they're on soft bedding. Or like clean bedding, fresh bedding, and then I don't have to worry about them pooping on the plastic on the bottom. I don't know if you can tell, but we have a board screwed into the bottom. And it's just so that the water is elevated a little bit. We find that it helps the water not get as messy. Baby chicks are kind of messy. So we find that having the water elevated from the shavings keeps it from not getting full of shavings and not get like, you know, really gross. So now this is the part they're not going to like, because they don't like me. They love my son. Okay, go the other side. Go the other side. Come on. Come on. Come on. Watch out. Come on. Are you stuck? Oh, no. You're just scared. Okay. On this half too, I also have another board screwed down to the bottom for the same reason. This side is for the food though, just so they don't get shavings all into their feeder, because then they make a mess trying to get the feed and they end up getting feed all over the place, so that's kind of not necessary. So it works. It's not the best, and to be honest, I'm sure there's a better solution, but we'll make a better brooder when we have more time to focus on it. But we have a lot of things going on at once this year, so making a permanent better brooder was not on our list, unfortunately. But at the same time, we still have to raise birds, so that's why we just kind of did this one. But you know what, surprisingly, this one's actually worked really well this year. I'm actually very happy with how it worked, considering I used like scrap pieces of wood that I had and stuff like that. I did it one day when Andrew was at work. There we go. But it works pretty well. I'm sorry, guys. To be honest, I think these birds are actually going to get moved over before they're too big, because I have the incubator full right now of chicken eggs. So once those bad boys hatch, they're going to have to move into here, which means these guys are going to have to move out of here, which is fine. That's not a big deal at all. Okay, can I take my phone, you guys? No? Okay, well, let's fill your feeder first. Okay. It's okay. Okay. I'm turning red. It's really hot in here. I have to open that window. It had to shut because the rain direction was coming in. But I'm gonna have to open that window to let some airflow in here. That's the nice thing about having the windows in here. Okay. What am I stuck on? I'm totally not stuck. I have a flat tire. Anyway, these goats are gonna be super noisy. Anyway, the nice thing about having windows in there is it gives nice airflow for the animals when we have the animals in there. And so for the chickens, you don't want them to be stuffy, cramped. It's not a good way to live, right? So having the nice airflow works out great. And then I didn't show. I'll show when I go back in there, actually. But we do have a plug right by that brooder, and that works out really nice because I have a brooder plate, so when the babies are like day old, I can plug that in right there. But we've also used it to plug in a fan to circulate air and stuff like that. I don't know where to put my phone down. The animals aren't gonna get it, but yeah. Oh, the animals are trying to figure out what I'm doing because I'm by the hose. But I filled your trough before I did everything else. Y'all have fresh, cool water. My screen. Okay. Cleaned up their water, refilled it. Let's go give them some water. I'm sure they're gonna... Oh, they're all standing right where the water usually goes. Animals are funny. They know things, right? Hi, guys. There you go. Some fresh water. So anyway, I think it's, yeah, right here. Right behind here, there's a plug, which works out really nice when we need it. Because, like I said, we can put the brooder plate there. We can put in a fan. The only light we have out in the shop is this one. It actually lights pretty nicely, surprisingly. But sometimes if we need an extra light too, we'll plug in another light over there. These animals. Goats, just watch. Every time I'm outside, they like go crazy until they figure out what I'm doing. Like, am I coming to them? Do I have treats in this wheelbarrow? Because sometimes I do. But today I just have chicken poop. So let's bring it over to the compost that we built this year. Well, we started to. We want a 3-part one, but we got 1 part out of the 3 built. And that's okay, that's okay. Okay. We have a pitchfork and like some stirring thing. Andrew stirs this for me. I just add things to it. And he's in charge of making sure that it moves around. Or he'll water it if it needs to be watered if we don't get enough rain. I also just recently learned, let me know in the comments if you do this, but we've been doing a lot of cheese making lately with Clover's goat's milk. And I just seen, so you can't put whey down your drain for so many different reasons. Whey is good for a lot of things in your kitchen, but I usually don't need as much whey as I get. And so I was always dumping it in the field. Well, I just learned from somebody else here on the internet that it's good for your compost. The acidity levels apparently in whey are, what was that? Oh my gosh, there's a plant tag. The acidity levels in the whey apparently are really good for helping break down your compost. So I thought that was interesting. So last couple times I've made cheese, I've been just dumping it right here in the compost, and I don't know, we'll see. Let me know if you do that. If not, I'm curious, what do you do with your whey? Do you, use it for something? I see some people like to put it into their protein shakes. They like to put it in their smoothies. So many different interesting ways to use it that I've never really thought about before. But at that same stroke, last year we were only milking 1 goat and she didn't give us very much milk, so we made very limited cheese last year. This year Clover gives us a good amount of milk, and I've been in cheese making once or twice a week. So yeah. Okay. I don't know if I can mix this. I'm not very good at this. Oh my gosh. Oh, there's so much steam coming from this. I don't know. The angle's probably not good enough, but I don't know if I keep hitting this, you're gonna fall into my compost. That's so funny. It smells so much better now. We were using a bin until we built this, and the bin was smelling really bad. And your compost shouldn't smell, right? If anything, it should smell earthy. And it was not. It was smelling pungent, and I was not happy. But since we got this going, it's been smelling very earthy, like the ground of the forest. I don't have a better way to describe that. So that's good. That's what you want your compost to do. Yeah, I'm not very good at this mixing thing, so Andrew's gonna have to do it, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay. Whew, that works up a sweat. Thank gosh there's a breeze. I don't know if you can see. I should come closer actually so you can see the compost, but it's I think 4x4. And we have 1 board on the bottom, but it's getting right close to that board, so I think I'm gonna have to add a 2nd board soon. But the goal is to add build 2 more sections so that you can do the proper rotate, because we do compost a lot between animal bedding, garden scraps that the goats don't eat and chickens don't eat. We can go through a lot of compost, so it makes sense for us to build a big one. Anyway, friends, thank you so much for watching today's little clean the meaties with me kind of video as I do my homesteading chores. There's some weird noises going on. I don't know what it is. Anyway, friends, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.